Wang.
Bow,
Do I
bow,
wang?
bow, bow, bow. There we go.
Bendy, Clint.
There it is.
Little happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Blue Review. I'm Marcus Grant, joined by Greg Bergman and Clint Pasillas, as always, on a Monday. How are we feeling, gentlemen, on this Cinco de Mayo Monday?
I am feeling great. I'm feeling ready to go. Dodgers take 2 out of 3. It's another beautiful Monday. Clint, what about you?
Is it beautiful outside? It seems a little overcast, but I'm feeling good on the Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Drinko, if you will. Like we were saying just before going live, it's 8:30 somewhere. So guys, have a drink, have some fun, do it at work. I promise it's good for you. Your boss will like it.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if people took the day off. I just noticed that, it seemed like traffic was a little bit lighter this morning. So I don't know if, Cinco de Mayo is sort of an unofficial LA holiday or what. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an unofficial holiday to drink for sure. But as a manager around this place, I don't like the idea of you telling people to drink afterwards. That seems like a bad call. With me on here.
It's okay. Wait, who's running the board? Is it Parker? Parker, get loaded.
It's Anthony today.
Okay, it's Anthony. Even better.
The opinions of Clint Pasillas do not necessarily reflect those of Greg Bergman. We'll put that out there. A lot to get into over the weekend. The Dodgers do take 2 of 3 from the Atlanta Braves. They see their winning streak ended, but a good weekend nonetheless. But before we dive into that, I want to give a shout out to the folks at LAX. They are transforming the travel experience, trying to save guests time. Get ready for the People Mover train coming early next year to help out with all that as well. For more information, you can go to flylax.com/transforminglax. So, let's just get into it, though. Overall, a good weekend, Clint. The Dodgers do take 2 of 3. I want to ask your thoughts on the Braves as a ball club, because obviously they had that horrible start to the season. They're starting to play better. Do we put them in the category of a good ball club? I mean, is this a team we could see in the playoffs at the end of the year?
Well, I mean, the way they started definitely makes it a lot more difficult to find them in the playoffs. It would be a wild card, likely would have been a wild card either way with the Mets in that division. But I think they were always better than the awful 0-7 team we saw come to LA. They're a good ball club. They got talent. They've been there. They've done that. They have, pieces in their starting rotation, even with the loss of Max Fried in the offseason. They are a legitimate I wouldn't call them so much of like a litmus test or whatever. Like, don't stack the Dodgers directly against them, but it's real competition despite what the record tells you.
Yeah, I think they're a good team, Marcus, but they're having a lot of injuries right now, and they're going to be back at the top of whenever Acuna comes back. Mm-hmm. But losing Spencer Strider, they lost another guy in the rotation as well.
Another pitcher, yeah,
another pitcher.
Schwellenbach or something like that, or was he?
Schwellenbach pitched the other day.
He pitched. That's right.
I'm trying to remember who the pitcher is. It's driving me nuts, but I'll figure it out at some point. But yeah, they lost a couple of guys that that really that hurts them in that sense. So they're going to turn out well, but the Dodgers just are above and beyond, far and way better, just like they are pretty much every other team in all of baseball, despite how poorly they played early in the season.
Obviously they're still, I think, kind of waiting to put together a string of great games. It definitely helped over the last week and a half that they ran into some bad teams, and to their credit, they took full advantage of that. So, let's kind of get into it, because interesting weekend. The Dodgers get the first one on Friday night, a 2-1 score. A game that was delayed a little bit by rain, kind of near the end. But yeah, look, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, another outstanding start, was no hitting them through 5 which, by the way, I guess I have to wear this one now. I'm going to just put this out here. In one of our group chats, I actually said the phrase no hitter, and maybe a batter, 2 batters later.
It may have been the next batter. Marcus, I'm not even kidding it. We're sitting there. I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, okay, there's a good thing happening right now. And then here comes Marcus, like, oh, he's throwing a no-hitter.
Okay, so
did you just put that flat out there? Was that just
yes? Because as somebody who did minor league baseball for a couple of years, like, at some point you realize you have very little control over it. Clint, I will give you the context to this was I actually asked, would Dave Roberts? I said something like, we know Dave Roberts is not going to let Yoshi chase the no-hitter, right? Yeah. I mean, that was going to be the thing. There was no chance that Dave Roberts is going to let him go after that thing. So it ended up working out for Roberts that he gave him a hit, right?
Yeah, something like that. Given the state of the starting rotation and the likelihood that Yama is going to have to go on short rest, back in my day we called it regular rest in his next start. He wasn't going to get too much over the 100 pitch mark there, but I will say, listen, some people like to pretend like the no-hitter curse or the jinx isn't real. It's real. It's legit, because you saw all the beat writers at the same time mention no hits through 5 innings. They mentioned it on the broadcast, and then immediately in the 6th inning, boom, it's all undone. So I blame everybody but myself.
Yeah, no, I stayed away from him too. Me and you, Clint, we're
synergy
package deal here. Yes, synergy, exactly.
All right, well,
do not throw it out there ever.
As long as the blame is shared with all the rest of the beat writers, then I guess I'm okay with that. I don't have to wear the whole thing by myself. So
you and David Vazay.
Yep, I will take it. I will wear that. But either way, a 2-1 win on Friday night. Yamamoto continues to look fantastic. Really no worries there at all. Saturday, really long wait to get that one started. It was like almost a 3-hour delay, I think it was.
Yeah, it was very, very frustrating. And Roki Sasaki was, had to sit there and just wait and wait and wait. And really, Sasaki, I thought, pitched pretty well. There was he really started to struggle after the Dodgers had a really nice inning. He sat for about 20 minutes and came back out, and it wasn't the same guy. He made it through his 5. He got his first major league win. I think he's showing time in and time out that he's going to get you to where you need to be. I don't think it's going to be perfect every time out. He's still a work in progress. But the fact is that he is getting some swing and miss. He is keeping the ball in the park for the most part. I know he gives up like at least 1 a game, but he is showing that he's going to be a good major league pitcher when he puts everything together.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what he gave the team on 3 hours, like delayed, that's usually, I mean, Kershaw would be probably losing his mind in that situation. Like, nah, put me tomorrow, bro. I'm not pitching today. But they needed that. Again, with the state of the starting rotation, you got possibly Ben Casparius starting today, and then you have a Gonsolin start making his first start, and his second start in the last 2+ years, whatever it is. And then another bullpen game on Wednesday. Like, you needed to get a little bit of length out of Roki. So for him to kind of battle, stay in the game and give him 5, even if it wasn't the most perfect 5 innings. What I like is that we are seeing him battle without his best stuff. We haven't seen the 100 miles an hour as much of late. You're starting to see him adjust a little bit and worry more about staying in the game, which, to the old heads, like, let's say me and Marcus, we appreciate that. We want to see the pitcher stay in the game and kind of give their team an opportunity to stay in the game, which very much they did on Saturday with 10 runs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the offense, again, has a very big day, another big day for Shohei as well, who, guys, he's starting to have that look again. He's starting to morph back into Godzilla again.
Mama, there goes that man.
There goes that man. He had a kid. He had a few sleepless nights. Those of us with children, we get it. We've been there. Now all of a sudden, looks like he's back in his routine. So pitchers around the National League, I guess Major League Baseball in general, beware, because it looks like Shohei is about to do Shohei things again. Mm-hmm. Clint, I wanted to ask you though, because look, I do NFL stuff. We just went through the draft season. That is when the dreaded anonymous scout rears his or her ugly head and has lots of negative things to say. I'm sure you saw there's an anonymous American League GM who has said Roki Sasaki is the biggest disappointment of the 2025 season so far. I don't know about you, Clint. It sounded a little bit like sour grapes.
I think it's a little bit of sour grapes. I think it's a little bit of probably a GM or scout, whoever it is. You said scout, just somebody not paying attention to all of the tape on Roki and all of the insiders and smart people, and even me about Roki. He was somebody that, like Greg said earlier, it's going to be a work in progress. If you just pay attention to the part where everybody's like, oh, every team wants this dude. He's going to be cheap, but he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. He has electric stuff, the splitter that's nasty. He's going to be a Hall of Famer the second he sets a cleat on the field. If you listen to that one side and then you go to Baseball Reference and look up a 3.86 ERA, you'd be like, oh, this is a massive disappointment. So a little bit of sour grapes, and I'd say also probably a lot of bit of not being educated on the subject of Roki Sasaki.
We're talking about a guy that, okay, So he just came over from Japan. He's 23 years old. He's super young. And you said the ERA, but he also hasn't given up more than 3 runs in a game yet.
Yeah.
It's not like he's getting shelled out there, giving up like 10 runs every single time out there. He hasn't given up 3 runs. The most that he's given up this game against Atlanta with 6 hits, that's the most hits he's given up in a game. He's gone 5 innings, 5 2/3, 6 innings, 5 innings in his last 4 starts. I don't see how that could even be close to the most disappointing in all of baseball. Like the numbers just don't say. Yes, is he exactly what we thought he was going to be when he first came over? But no, he has 2 pitches. We just don't know where all those pitches are going to go. He has a fastball and a ball that can be a slider at sometimes. It's a splitter at sometimes. It just depends on how it decides to come out of his hand for that moment. So I most disappointing is just hyperbole to the nth degree.
Like we're a month into the season and it's an ERA under 4. Like it's not the end of the world. He's not out there putting up, Maddox numbers or whatever, but he's still a fine pitcher, especially with, I think, well, probably pitchers are a little bit better than offenses so far to open the season. Not everybody is Shohei or Aaron Judge, who is, my God, he is on a tear. But he's perfectly fine. This is his first 7 starts or whatever. As a big leaguer, he will live, he will survive, and he'll keep getting better.
And at the risk of again sounding like a broken record, he is 23 years old. He's 23. He doesn't turn 24 until just after the season ends. I'm not worried about it. I saw the headline. I kind of scrolled the story. It made me laugh. I'm like, Rod, if Roki Sasaki is the biggest disappointment, then a lot of dudes are having some phenomenal years right now across Major League Baseball.
Let me ask you about that. This is a topic that gets played on the radio all the time, and both of you can answer. So the anonymous sources. You mentioned the anonymous sources. How do you feel? I understand you need anonymous sources to get through at basically any sport and in any topic. I totally get it. But if you want to say something, why not just put your name on it? Like, what is it really going to hurt at some point? Like, if this is an anonymous AL GM, let's say it's the GM of the Athletics. Like, what does he care what Roki Sasaki is going to think of him? Roki is never going to go to the Athletics.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, for something like this, I don't really get it, other than I guess the fear is that, Roki somehow gets wind of this and decides that he's just going to absolutely shove against this team. But to your point, it's the American League. The chances are slim that you see him at all. If you do, it's probably once through the season. It's not like being the GM of the Padres or the Giants and, you're going to run up on this guy a few times. So I don't really get it. Clint is just, people just want to pop off, but you don't even get the credit where nobody's going to come, say anything good or bad to you because you didn't put your name on it. So I don't really get it.
People just like talking, man. They like the sound of their own voice. And that's why I'm here every Monday with you guys.
We like the sound of your voice too, which is why we have you back every single Monday.
Exactly.
Let's get on to Sunday. The Dodgers lose 4-3, and it was kind of the Austin Riley show, a pair of 2-run homers, and that was all the scoring for the Braves. Their pitching made it stand up the rest of the way. Clint, have you seen this DirecTV commercial with Dustin May?
I saw some of the behind the scenes of it. I haven't actually watched the commercial yet, but it does
disturbing.
Not look good. It does not look natural.
It's disturbing. I saw it on Saturday, and then on Sunday he goes out and gives up a pair of 2-run homers to Austin Riley. I mean, Greg, what did you take away from that start? I mean, it's been sort of an up and down for Dustin May since that opening start of the season, but what did you take away from yesterday?
I took away that he gave up 2 bad pitches to one guy. It was Austin Riley. He continues to keep the hits down. He continues to get through. He got 6 strikeouts. It's not the amount of swing and miss that we want to see. He's having trouble with two strikes on. Every time he gets 2 strikes, that he seems to get into a little bit of trouble. But I still like what Dustin May is showing. And despite the fact of him giving up those 4 runs pretty early in the game, he still almost made it through 6. So he's keeping his pitch count down. Guys seem to want to attack him immediately. They go after his first couple of pitches and thinking they can get him right away. But I think he's pitching really well. I mean, besides those 2 pitches to Riley, I'm very happy with the way that Dustin is pitching for me at least. I mean, I'd like that ERA to go down a little bit and those runs to go down a little bit, but either way, I think he's pitching great.
Yeah, he's pitching a little bit better than I think the numbers we've seen of recent vintage are. I mean, those first three starts were phenomenal for him. He was really good coming back, and I think it's a little bit the league adjusting on him, and a little bit he's kind of lost some of the command out of that new arm slot because we're not seeing that breaking ball down enough, and when he leaves it up, that's when ball go bye-bye, and unfortunately left it up, for Austin Riley in that loss on Sunday. But hey, where would this team be without Dustin? That's one of the tough parts. And he's another dude who kind of kept him in the game. And I like Dave taking him after his outing, kind of taking him aside and being like, being Dave, being dad, reaffirming like you have a spot here. We need you. You're the man. Don't ever shave your head for real. That kind of stuff. I think that's important for somebody like Dustin, who now is getting past all of the 4 years of injury woes, we hope, and trying to establish himself as a legitimate, consistent big league starter. So I'm not upset with what we saw and what we've seen out of Dustin. I don't know if Marcus, you feel any different about him.
No, I really don't. I think again, this is a guy who didn't pitch for basically 2 years, right? And he's trying to work his way back. And I think all things considered, we've seen some really good things. There is going to be kind of that ramp up period, if you will, of him getting back together and getting back to where he was previously. But I think the biggest thing is, generally speaking, when he has taken the ball, whatever happens, he has left with the Dodgers having a chance to win. And I think that's kind of the important thing right now. Are you leaving this team with a chance to win on a nightly basis? And so far, Dustin May has done a really good job of that. To your point, Greg, Austin Riley got him twice, but that was it. And the Dodgers had every chance to win because they actually had the tying run on third base in the ninth inning, which I guess, Clint, we should get to this, right? Hessen Kim, welcome to the show. We've all been waiting for this moment. We haven't seen him have a start yet, but he's come in late in ball games. And last night, Clint, the speed for HSK was fully on display.
Yeah, kid has the wheels. We know he can play defense. Would love to see him try to swing a bat at the big league level, but it's cool to see him getting this opportunity, even if it comes at the expense of Tommy Edman hitting the IL for a little bit. But the wheels are there, and just now the next step is get him in a lineup. Let's get him in a lineup and see what he could actually do.
Well, if he's going to get in a lineup, it's going to be this week, right? They're playing the Marlins, and we know what happened the last time we saw the Marlins. So this seems like a good opportunity to get him in here. And we also know that he's only going to be up for about a week. As soon as Edman's off the IL, he's going to probably go right back down to AAA. And it's not his deal. It's more so that they wanted to give basically Edman a little bit of rest. Yeah, but I really like what you're going to get from Hessen Kim. I think he has that speed is something that is going to really help, especially later in games. And also, if he can get bat on ball a few times and really just show that he can hit major league pitching, it could be great. I really like the way that the Dodgers are handling Kim because putting him in the minor league first, I thought it was absolutely the right decision. Let him come over here and not get overwhelmed by major league pitching right away, and let him learn how to be like, okay, because if he would have been in the majors right from the beginning and just struggled and went like 0 for 25 or something like that, that really could have shot his confidence. Instead, they put him down in AAA for a month, a little bit over, and said, hey, okay, take your time to kind of learn what this game kind of looks like, how much it's different from the KBO. And now he's up, hopefully he can be close to being up to stay.
For what it's worth, Hessen Kim in my MLB The Show 25 franchise, he has permanently supplanted Miguel Rojas at second base, right? He's in the lineup every day. He's one of the most consistent hitters in my lineup. So, obviously that's going to completely translate to the real game. We know that for sure. There's no doubt about it.
Hey, how about Mickey Rowe hitting a home run?
Yeah, Mickey. So that's the next part of this, though, right? Mickey Rowe hits a home run as a pinch hitter. We see Kim up there. It feels like, Greg, I mean, when you go back to your guy, Conforto, reprieve after because it felt like when Kim came, that was going to be, Conforto going to the bench, but with no Tommy Edman, Conforto's still in the lineup. I know I joked that I volunteer as tribute to play left field for the Dodgers, but it just seems like, they can't get Conforto out of the lineup no matter what they do.
I think you could luck yourself into walks as much as Michael Conforto does. I mean, if you just stood there and didn't swing, it would be very
Yeah.
Miguel Vargas like, where you just get walked because the pitcher is just can't find the middle of the plate. But you don't have to swing at all. Conforto is a very, very frustrating ball player, especially right now. He's typical walk up to the plate and he's at 0-2 already. That's just the type of situation he's in. Yeah, it's just I don't know, Clint. I got caught on Conforto. I forgot what the actual question was.
Well, I'll say this with Conforto, and as it relates to Kim being up with the big league team, I mean, hopefully, Conforto is an ankle is twisted or hurting or something, or there's a hip that's wink totally having some issues, and he has to take a few days. Give him a blow on the bench, and actually, again, go back to what I said earlier. Like, let's actually see Hessen Kim in the lineup, give him an opportunity. To the Miguel Rojas pinch hitting for Conforto thing. I didn't see a lot of love in the chat for Dave Roberts making that decision, by the way. You only hear fire Dave Roberts. I guess you can't extend him right now, but I just wanted to shout out Doc for putting the right guy in the right spot there. Anybody was going to be the right guy over Mike Conforto, but he's been a problem, we'll say. I don't know how much we want to dive into him with the show wrapping soon.
Yeah.
The only thing real fast, Marcus, the only thing I want to say is the most disappointing player in baseball is not Roki Sasaki. It is Michael Conforto. Especially when you have Conforto on the same team, you can't say it's Roki Sasaki.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like by dollar amounts or whatever, the dude's getting $17 million this year, and he's, I think, by a number of metrics, the worst hitter, qualified hitter in baseball. Yeah, Mike Conforto is definitely a big, if not the biggest disappointment. Definitely for the Dodgers.
Yeah, certainly for the Dodgers. I know we've talked about it a lot. I'm sure we'll talk about it some more as things go on. But the Dodgers leave Atlanta. They take the relatively short flight down to Miami, where they've got a 3-game set with the Marlins coming up. Obviously, they took care of the Marlins at Dodger Stadium with a sweep last week. Tonight, Ben Kasparius getting the start, going against Sandy Alcantara. Last time, fellas, we saw Alcantara, it was not good for him. He went 2 2/3 innings, gave up 7 runs on 7 hits, just 2 strikeouts, 5 walks in the ball game. Clint, this is a guy who has been fantastic in the past. Obviously, still working his way back. It feels like another time for the Dodgers to maybe take advantage of a guy still trying to figure some things out right now.
Yeah, he's been historically bad against the Dodgers as well. I think an ERA over 9.5, close to 10 against the Dodgers in his career. 7 earned runs definitely don't help in fewer than 3 innings like we saw last time. But once again, perfect time for the Dodgers to just kind of pad their stats a little bit, get another win streak going, and a soft landing as well for Ben Kasparius, making I'm calling it his first real start, because it seems like he's officially going to be in the starting rotation, at least until Clayton Kershaw comes back in about a week and a half, all things go well. He's an important kid for where this Dodgers team is at right now. So all things point to a good time, or a good day to have a good day for the Dodgers here on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. So I'm just a little bit worried. The only thing, like, Alcantara, I don't know, how do you say it? Alcantara. Like, I don't even know what
Stevie Nelson says Alcantara.
Alcantara. Okay, so let's go with that way. He has a sparkling 8.31 ERA, and to your point, Clint, how terrible he's been against the Dodgers. Ben Kasparius' first real start, and everybody loves Ben. And it just all turns into okay. And we talk so much about the Marlins. I just don't want to come in tomorrow and be like, they lost.
Yeah.
It's just everything is pointed towards the Dodgers just winning this game 25-0, and it's baseball, so crazy things happening. Yeah. But I really like Ben Kasparius. I think he's going to do a really, really good job as a starter for as long as he's stretched out. I think it's a great spot for him, and this is a time when, if people are going to get their moments, the Hessen Kims, I mean, maybe you leave Conforto in there because he didn't get a hit. He didn't get one hit against them last week. So he's got to be able to, if you're going to get right against one team, put him in against the Marlins, let him try and get right against the Marlins. If he doesn't, then it's time. Like, move him to the IL with the magic hip that Clint was talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs a blow. He needs a blow, straight up.
I think that's it. He needs a day off. He needs one of those magic Dave Roberts hugs.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that goes. Anyway, we will talk about that one tomorrow. First pitch scheduled for 3:40 Pacific time, so be sure to check that out as well. Before we get out of here, though, Clint, let folks know what you got coming up, Ram.
So actually today, Dodgers territory is coming up right after you guys, right after us here. I'm going live at 9 a.m. I'm still waiting to hear from my guest. It's supposed to be Casey Porter of Dodgers Daily, who was the first guy to break the Hessen Kim call up on the internet. So we're expected to be talking Dodgers, talking prospects and all that kind of stuff. Dodgers territory, 9 a.m. And of course, follow me on the other one, my channel, All Dodgers with Clint Pasillas. I'm there, all these things on the YouTube and here every Monday with you guys. Always appreciate talking ball with you.
Absolutely fantastic. We'll be back, of course, tomorrow to talk about what happened today. Parker Bell, get better, man. Shout out to you. Anthony Jack's still holding it down on the board, getting us up on the interwebs.
With all the margaritas in him.
All the margaritas in him, for sure. Just make sure
Sick.
you take it.
He's
Just make sure you
sick.
take an Uber home. That's all I'm saying. In the meantime, appreciate y'all hanging out in the chat, hanging out with us for another edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. For Clint Pasillas, for Greg Bergman, I am Marcus Grant. Enjoy the day, everybody. We'll talk to you again tomorrow here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel, 8:30 to 8:55. Stick around. Travis DeMarco coming up next. We'll see you.
Bye.
See ya.
Undergoing a
Yeah, so AMC Theaters does this thing every month, apparently, where it's called AMC Screen Unseen. So you do not know what movie you're about to see. It is an unreleased movie that usually comes out within a week or two before, after this movie.
Sure.
And so they let you know the runtime, and that's all you know.
How much are you paying for this, and how did you get involved?
So it's a discounted ticket. So I think that's kind of the allure. It's a $7 ticket
Right.
for tonight. My buddy hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I've heard about this. Do you want to do this tonight?" And I said, "Why not? Let's do it."
Okay, so it's like a one-shot deal. You don't have to sign up for 90 movies or whatever. You can do it on the day.
On the day, it's just like any other movie. You book it right then, and you go. And like I said, they let you know the runtime. So I did a little deducing.
All right, what do we got?
There's a couple movies coming out that fit the 1 hour, 39-minute runtime.